Dan Smotz and Dave Casey. Dan Smotz and Dave Casey. Yeah, gone too long, the room felt wrong, the vibe was off, no news or songs, the times were tough, the guys were just the 1 minute, then they left us in the dust. We hammered at their door till the locks broke loose. Now we're tearing through the house till we find those dudes, and we gonna drag them out, shove a mic in their stupid faces, and make them read us the news. There is no news today, I swear, it's the truth, same shit, new day. It's a waste even to log off, dude. You're dropping a deuce, just cut that log off and get the fuck back to school. Also, one of us got married since last we saw you. That was long overdue, but what the hell did you do while the boys were away? It was just a month or two. You can cry like a bitch, but pride butt fucked off in June. Ladies and gentlemen, throw your hands up. The extravaganza has returned. The system is down. Don't be scared, there ain't nothing to worry about. Just want you to figure out the system is down. So if you're just like me and you're done fighting all the windmills that they sell, well, raise a fist for your right to resist a system that gives you hell. The system is down, 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 down. The system is down. The system is down. We so bad. I bring this bitch, same flow, no script. I know most of y'all didn't even notice that we ever existed. Shit, that's fine, never did give a damn for the smoke. I did it for the hell of it. Who knows when we'll come and go? In the life is never known. R.I.P. Oliver Tree. Heaven is what we make it though. I just know that by the time it's time for me to go, I hope I said all of the words that I was made to sow. Gentlemen, throw your hands up. The extravaganza has returned. The system is down. Seasons, sirs, don't be scared. There ain't nothing to worry about. Just want you to figure out the system is down. So if you're just like me and you're done fighting all the windmills that they sell, well, raise a fist, go your right to resist the system that only gives you hell. The system is down, 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 down. The system is down. The system is down, 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 down. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Let's get weird and remind them why we're all here. Let's say words. Let's be absurd. If your feelings get hurt, grow up and grab a beer. It's okay, you need a laugh. Shut the fuck up, try to relax. Let's tell truths and laugh about the news. Try not to notice that it's all controlled by the system is down, 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 down. The system is down, 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 down. The system is down. The system is down.
My dearest love, tonight I fulfilled my promise, and Kirk has fallen by my hand. My vehicle is abandoned, and I cycled through my outfits so no description may betray me. My grandfather's rifle, gifted to me by my MAGA Republican father, now lies in the woods, wrapped tenderly in a black towel whose frayed edges reminded me of your touch. A squad car will soon retrieve it, but all I want retrieved is my heart, safe in your arms. Even now, with blood on my hands, I find myself craving Dairy Queen as if its sweetness could soothe the fire of my soul until I see you again.
This is a Dissident Media production. DissidentMedia.net.
In a world where where everything sucks. Two men have the balls to laugh at it. This is The System is Down.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with a heavy heart that we bring you the news today. For I regret to inform you, Senator Lindsey Graham has died. But there are many in mourning. There are many people saddened by this occasion. As for us, oh, that was the wrong button. I'm sorry. That's very disrespectful. But we can't start out with Lindsey Graham right out the gate. We gotta hold on to Lindsey Graham, just like he clung to life for way too long. Lindsey Graham has died, but we gotta start out first with the entertainment news. So speaking of Evil Dead, I took my son to see the new Evil Dead movie last week. Any thoughts on the Evil Dead franchise, Dave? I don't think it's up your alley so much, but have you seen any of them?
No, but I know of them. And I know kind of the basic premise. I know the lead actor what's his name again? Can't remember.
Bruce Campbell from the original.
That's right. Very, cult favorite there, Bruce Campbell. But more than anything, dude, I like how this show has just become about shit that you're into. So
if I'm going to do it, I'm not going to spend my entire day just wondering whether or not Trump's still at war or not at war, or we won the war or they won the war or the war is almost over. I'm done with that.
I'm not even being ironic here. Tell me about the good time that you and your son had at the fucking Evil Dead show.
All right, so we had a great time, and there are a lot of people complaining about this movie, saying that it's not within the Evil Dead spirit anymore, and it's just too mean or too whatever. My 30-second review is that it's an Evil Dead movie, a modern-day Evil Dead movie, and it's got laughs, and it's got some terrible, terrible gore that you might not even be expecting from an Evil Dead movie at this point. But, if you've been keeping up with the franchise, it definitely keeps within the franchise, and I could rant about this movie and this franchise a lot. And if you want that, let me know. That's I'm going to keep saying that every episode until somebody actually lets me know that they want to hear something more. If you want to hear me rant more about Evil Dead, go on over to patreon.com/thesystemsdown or just email me at dan@gmail.com. And if you'd like a bonus episode, let me know. But if nobody ever lets me know, I don't got time for this shit. Go watch Evil Dead Burn. It's a great movie. I give it a something out of 10, maybe an 8 or 9 out of 10. It's not a perfect film, and I've got my complaints. I mean, maybe that's a little high. Maybe I'm being too nice. I don't know. Like, in the grand scheme of all movies ever, I don't know that it's necessarily an 8 or a 9, but I don't watch a ton of movies. Is it an 8 or a 9 out? Is it an 8 or a 9 out of Evil Deads? I would say, I mean, I like them all, and I actually am a heretic in that I prefer the reboot version of Evil Dead and what they've done with that over the originals, but they're still, it's not Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi anymore as director and actor, but they are still producers and they're behind the scenes keeping it within some sort of space, but they do give these new and upcoming directors free reign to have some fun with them. So a lot of the fan complaints come from like inconsistencies and whatnot, and the spirit of Evil Dead was initially just two dudes making a movie that they enjoyed making and then working their asses off to get it distributed, and it was even banned from certain countries, but they kept going and making them, and it eventually died off because it got too Hollywoodized. They're still kind of keeping it, like, whether or not you like the direction they've gone with it, they're still keeping within the same spirit of it. And if you're looking for a roller coaster of horror, gore, and a couple surprising laughs or two, check it out. As far as ratings, I'm not gonna really give it one because I'm not one to really rate movies in that I've never seen like Schindler's List or Shawshank Redemption or anything. I can't weigh it on the entirety of the bell curve, but I can say that it is the first movie that I've gone to see it in theaters in like a year at least, maybe 2, and I just realized this movie was coming out. I don't keep up with this stuff that much. So when I see something that excites me, like a new Evil Dead movie, I'm like, all right, we'll go see that. And it's the best Resident Evil movie I've ever seen. I'll say that because it's definitely got a lot of Resident Evil flair in it too, for those that are into that.
Wow. Big
Yeah.
flair. Real quick, bro, while we're on movie time and we're doing Siskel and Ebert stuff, I just want to say that I took my wife to go watch fucking He-Man and the Masters of the Universe in the movie theater, which drops on Amazon today. I bet you some people are going to watch that shit. Got whatever, made no money. I think it lost some. I'm not even sure. But that's what happens when you make movies only for 45-year-old men, which I truly appreciated. And it was cool. I found out that movie, like the guy who directed it, it's probably my age. And his dad invented the fucking Nike Air. So like he just like gets to be a director and probably doesn't give a fuck.
Sure.
He's just trying to make the coolest movie that he can, which I think he did probably make the coolest. You know, it was better than the last like 5 years worth of Marvel movies. So
That's
fucking
a low
go
bar
watch He-Man.
in the last 5 years. But I don't know. I haven't watched too many of them in the last 5 years because I fell off that train. Are you excited for the new Avengers whatever reboot? Continuation, Robert Downey, new school.
I mean, I'm going to give them my money and I'll go watch that movie. But I think that they might just burn the whole thing to the ground. Like it just seems like somebody said the other day, they were like, "This is like the best movie version of Smash My Toys Together I've ever seen." It's just like,
Sure,
just throwing a bunch of crap to make $5 billion, which they probably will. And I'll go give them some.
I'm sure. On keeping on movies for a moment, because the movie outrage of the week was The Odyssey, Homer's The Odyssey, done by Christopher Nolan, and my entire feed was just filled with adult humans screaming about this movie, how if you watched it, you're evil, and if you didn't watch it, you're evil, and everybody has big feelings about this movie. Let me give you a quick for instance here. George Alexopoulos says on Twitter, "I say this with sadness, not anger. If you bought a ticket for the Odyssey this weekend, you have surrendered the right to complain about Hollywood ruining movies. Your words and actions are not in alignment. You cannot lead others because you can't even follow yourself." Because they went to see a movie in the theaters by a director who's made a lot of great movies.
That's true, but see, I find myself in a unique category. You might find yourself there too, of people who would agree with that, but can't endorse you going out and saying that publicly because it makes you look like I just don't want to associate myself with you, the internet complainer of movies.
Yes.
But fuck that movie. Fuck that movie.
The complaints about the historical accuracy or whatever, I mostly don't care because this story I don't have any personal ties to it. I wasn't like a big The Odyssey fan before this movie. I understand the complaints about turning, I don't know, a Greek person into a black person or using trans woman to play a strong, it just seems like rage bait, and I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care that you're clearly, to some extent, they're doing some of this for rage bait, because why else would they choose Ellen Elliott or whatever Page to play this noble hero, or like just obvious switches that didn't need to occur?
But isn't that fascinating, though, that they got Christopher Nolan, probably the most world-renowned director of the 21st century, to put Elliot Page in this movie? Like, what could have otherwise, like, dude, I don't know. You've heard people say like, "Oh, the CGI like takes me out of the story and stuff. Like, it just doesn't feel like reality."
Yeah.
What the fuck do you think that's gonna do? Like, he's a genius. He knows that that's
right.
Fucking retarded.
Yeah, because nobody's talking about the movie. They're talking about the controversy around the movie, which, again, I don't care that much about. And I'll probably watch this movie when it comes out on DVD or on streaming, I guess is the thing that kids do nowadays when they watch movies. But when it gets to me on my VHS cassette tape in the mail from Paramount or whatever, I don't really care about the characters. I'm going to judge it as a movie as a whole, and a lot of people are saying that it's, despite all the quote-unquote wokeness, it's a great film, and I still just can't care this much about a movie. And in addition to that, this guy's complaint is that if you went to see it, you're a failure. You can't lead others. If you can't lead yourself into boycotting this film like I told you to. And I just got to ask, like, so are we only supposed to criticize movies that we don't go to see in theaters? Are we only supposed to scream on the internet about films we've never seen? Or should we maybe, I don't know, like, go check it out so we have some legitimate complaints? Because I'm sure there's other complaints that nobody gleaned from the trailers that nobody's even talking about because they just wanted to scream about a trailer and then stay home and pretend like it's the end of the world if their movie didn't go the way they wanted to.
Okay, that guy is still a bitch, but you should not give the studio your money for this movie. If you have a fucking HBO Max subscription when it comes out, yeah, okay, watch it. And you're right, dude. It probably is good. But it still will suffer something for the choices that he made or he was forced to make or whatever. You can't convince me that Elliot Page made that movie better. I'm just not going to be gaslit like that. And I'm not going to give you my theater money and fucking popcorn and go spend $60 to endorse that. The only vote that fucking counts, bro, is your dollars.
Sure.
Don't give them your money.
I did see somebody online suggest that, or say that he was going to pay to go see some other movie that he supported around the same time and then sneak around into this movie instead. So he's still, I'm not saying to do that, but
Right.
you know,
that would be okay. I'm okay with that. Still a bitch.
I don't have the article here, but speaking of garbage, Taylor Swift is selling her garbage from her wedding, literal bags of garbage for $25 a bag. And I just wanted your thoughts as either a libertarian or post-libertarian. Is this free market capitalism at its finest, or is this the downfall of the entirety of Western civilization, or somewhere in between?
I have to know if she's selling these or somebody else is selling these. Either way, it's free market capitalism.
Trash companies just like, let's go.
Right. Or somebody like just found that trash and put it on Facebook Marketplace or something like that. Like, I'm not shocked. I mean, like, that's a sad state of affairs, but it is still, yeah, go sell that shit. If she's selling it, the billionaire selling your trash, yeah, you got a different issue.
The billionaire elite selling their literal bags of garbage to the plebs who are like, "Oh, please, I want your trash." It's very sad, but also, I mean, if you were a Taylor Swift fan, is there a part of you that would be like, "Well, who knows what they dropped into that trash bag, and for only $25, I can just turn around and rethrow it away"? Would you? I mean, if you're a T Swift fan, you've probably already paid like $10,000 on your last concert tickets or whatever. So what's $25 for a bag of trash?
She should put some like signed memorabilia in one and charge like way more than that for the opportunity to
it's like
maybe
the golden
get a
ticket.
Yeah, dude, she should do that.
Yep. Speaking of shit, Taco Bell is under investigation over explosive diarrhea parasite outbreak, and I just have to ask, isn't that just Taco Bell? Like, how did we notice? Who noticed? Who was like, well, there's more diarrhea than usual from Taco Bell?
Dude,
how do you measure?
This is not even a joke. I haven't eaten at Taco Bell, and I'm not like a fast food hater. Like, every once in a while, it's fine, whatever. I go to take my chick to Five Guys. But I haven't been to a Taco Bell in fucking years, because the last time I went to a Taco Bell, I shit my fucking brains out over their grade D everything. Yeah, please.
Do you remember that article a couple years ago that was like a X percentage of Taco Bell's meat contained like X amount of sawdust or something, like wood shavings? When that came out, and I will take the complete inverse opinion to you. I think Taco Bell's fantastic. It's also maintained its integrity for the most part on prices. It's maintained its integrity more than most fast foods. Yeah, they might need to put a couple wood shavings in there to keep the cost down, but in this economy, for a $1.50 wood shaving burrito as opposed to a $5 McDonald's cheeseburger, I'm going to go with the wood shaving burrito. And when I have the explosive diarrhea, I won't act like some sort of victim on the internet and go telling people. I will just accept that I ate at Taco Bell and move on with my life. Anyway,
Ugh, that's disgusting. By the way, I had McDonald's for the first time in like 10 years a couple weeks ago, and it was terrible.
It's not. You're a liar. You're wrong.
Oh,
How do you
quarter pounder.
how do you hate McDonald's this much and then love the McDonald's bullshit that is the Marvel franchise?
That's right. I like my slop in the eyes and ears.
Eye slop as opposed to gut slop. I suppose that's probably healthier, just not for your brain.
Yeah.
Now, continuing on. We talked about Oliver Tree last time we were here. He died, and if you guys want the extended version of this, patreon.com/the system is down, or email me at dansmotz@gmail.com, because there's a lot more to this, but most people don't care. If you do, let me know. If you don't let me know, I won't do it. But this comes from New York Post. The dad of the YouTuber that was killed alongside Oliver Tree in the helicopter crash believes it was an attack. He came out and stated that he doesn't believe that this was... He believes that there was foul play, and really, they're still investigating what caused this helicopter crash. So, I just thought that was worth a mention, and something to keep your eye on. If this progresses more, we might end up having to do just a normal main episode on it, because there's a bit there, and the fact that the case is still open, I think that we should probably look into it. But we're not going to do that right now. Now, let's see. Oh, if you want that... Again, you should go join the Downers Club like... Oh, I should probably have some music here. That's not the right button. Working out some kinks.
Really shit the bed.
All right, well, let's start this over again. All right. Mad Clint's Paul something, Daniel, Nathan, Kildicate, John, Bob, Drugs for Robots, Autumn, Zachary, Maxwell, Kim Yuppie. I can't do this in the middle. I'm trying it. Go ahead and read some, Dave. Go ahead and read some.
Mary Rome, Justin, John, William. Thanks, guys.
Here, we'll start it over. Go ahead.
You can't fucking just test me, bro. I'm not on your time.
Not so easy, is it?
No, they're just not my downers, so I don't feel right thanking them.
Wow.
Your people.
Wow. If you're going to get your name on that list and have it read in correctly by Dave someday, go on over to patreon.com/the system is down, where you'll get ad-free episodes, bonus episodes, and you will support whatever it is we're still doing here. Yeah, if you want any of these extra episodes that I'm mentioning, there most likely will be there, and I will take your request much more seriously if you are paying to be a member of the Downers Club. And again, you'll get, I assume we're going to have an after party today. That's the plan if we get there. So let's keep trucking and see if we do. Cut the music. We got to talk about Lindsey Graham. Nope, that's not it. I don't know. That's the best I've got. How about this?
You gotta be able to pume.
All right. So Lindsey Graham died. And yes, this is old news at this point because, well, we should have done an episode last week, right? Because it was right after he died. And a lot more people would have clicked on this episode if we had. But we were, living. And you should try it. Unlike Lindsey Graham, who is now dead. Lindsey Graham has died and officially, just out of nowhere, if you had told me, it was never anywhere close to my bingo card for 2026 that Lindsey Graham, in the middle of a fucking election that he was clearly going to win, just croaks and bounces. ABC News reports, breaking, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina has died from a sudden illness, according to his wife. He was 71 years old. I have a good one here. Where'd it go? Oh, you remember Andrew Wilson, who we talked about on last episode, Dave? Andrew Wilson. His wife, Rachel Wilson, the day that Lindsey Graham died, came out and said this: Lindsey Graham hasn't even been dead for an hour, and we've already switched from who killed Charlie Kirk to who assassinated Lindsey Graham. Who was asking that question? Who was raising that conspiracy theory? We're now a week away from this. And I still have yet to see people raising these crazy conspiracy theories about Lindsey Graham's death, who died in Ukraine, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. They were just like, hey, he's gone. So cool, I guess. It feels to me like Rachel Wilson was like, "Hey, let's get everybody focusing on this if we can. Let's push the narrative that everybody's raising conspiracy theories about Lindsey Graham, so my husband won't have to defend TPUSA against these Charlie Kirk theories as much. If we can really shift it over to everybody's favorite guy that we're all really concerned about, Lindsey Graham. Am I wrong, Dave?
I don't know. You might be. I saw some conspiracy theories, some compelling ones.
Oh yeah.
Namely that Putin could have got him somehow. The guy was touring a Ukrainian drone facility. I don't know, I think that there's some, either, he died suddenly there, or
if there was foul play from Putin, would they not be actually investigating, and wouldn't they be the ones raising the theories?
Well, think about that. If that did happen and you're Trump, are you ready to go to war over Lindsey Graham? No, I'm serious.
That's a fair
I know
point.
that. Because art of the deal, dude, that's there's no way we're gonna jeopardize everything.
I suppose, yeah. Even if they knew that Russia did it, to raise that issue publicly would mean, well, I guess we've got to obviously go to war with Russia for the sake of our name and our military prowess. But
bro, I'm not, and that's a possibility. I'm not even convinced that it's impossible that the administration set him up.
Sure.
I'm not even, you know what I mean?
But why would they?
I haven't seen evidence for that. Maybe they made a deal.
He was
Trump
a sock puppet all the way around, the biggest of them all, and that's why we're not as disappointed that he's dead. Why would
a concession? Maybe it was a concession to Putin, some behind the scenes deal.
I don't know.
I feel like I'm the least conspiracy minded of the two of us.
Wow.
Lately, but on this one, I think that I'm if I don't think he died of natural causes in Ukraine.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Sure.
That's just, I doubt it.
I'm fine with that. I look at Lindsey Graham's death much the same as I look at, Elliot Page being in the Odyssey. I just don't care how or why it happened. I'm just gonna be okay with it existing, and not raise a fuss. If Putin took him out, I don't like supporting Russia, but we'll just leave it at that. Will Chamberlain had an interesting point here. He said a Republican Senate full of Lindsey Grahams would have rammed the Trump agenda down the Democrats' throats and smiled while doing it.
You gay bitch.
Is there any gayer way to say that Lindsey Graham would have continued to be a whore for Trump than to say... this is just the gayest possible way to say that Lindsey Graham was a great man, if that's what you believed, which was already gay enough. But a Republican Senate full of Lindsey Grahams would have rammed the Trump agenda down the Democrats' throat and smiled while doing it.
Oh, he would have just gotten in there and just rammed it down his throat, you guys.
Yep. So as you can imagine, he's getting all the responses to that he deserves. Sure. Yeah. I guess I don't know why we think that. Lindsey Graham and Donald Trump were at odds for quite some time back in the day when Lindsey Graham and Donald Trump weren't agreeing on, I don't know, the Israel stuff or something. And now they were both entirely on board, and he was Trump's butt buddy, and they were both just doing Israel's bidding. So I don't know what would have really changed if there were a bunch of Lindsey Grahams, because a bunch of senators that vote like Lindsey Graham, it wouldn't be that different than what we currently have. We have plenty of senators who are all voting for Israel's next war with whoever they want, or merging the IDF military with the United States military. We have we're not going to get into that too deep yet, but Rand Paul, people like Rand Paul, seemingly, I don't know if this is accurate. We'll save it. Unless you have thoughts on that. Go ahead.
On the NDAA?
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's go ahead and sneak it in there, because I don't have a ton on it. I haven't been keeping up, but tell me what you know.
Yeah, I didn't even get to tell you what I think about Lindsey Graham yet, but that fucking
go ahead.
sucks, bro. No, it's okay. We'll talk about that for a second. Let's go ride bikes. Yeah, they're trying to fucking sneak in the National Defense Authorization Act of 2026. You'll have to get the details on what this means, but we are making it Facebook official with Israel and our militaries. So it's not like becoming one thing exactly, but they're definitely like, there's intel more. It's more than just intel sharing. There will be synergy, and that fucking blows.
They already control ours. So, it's not like it's going to be a 50-50 split. It already isn't.
Yeah, dude, fucking Hydra. Shield is Hydra. Like, if you thought you were infiltrated, like, they're just going to make it official. Like, so that's fucking terrible. And, back to Lindsey Graham really quick.
I still have more. I still have more Lindsey Graham. We're not moving on from that yet.
Okay, then continue.
All right. Yeah, Lindsey Graham. We asked this about Mitch McConnell last time in the after party. Should we celebrate? Should we not celebrate? It keeps getting more and more clear cut to me that, I don't know. If I had done this episode last week, I might have called it something like the celebration of death of Lindsey Graham, because I don't feel like it's wrong for somebody who is causing mass genocide directly. His choices are directly pushing and selling. His job is to go and sell new wars to people. It's like, I don't know. Should we not celebrate when he stops selling death and genocide to other countries? Shouldn't we be glad that, just like Mitch McConnell, if you stepped away and died peacefully outside of your wield of power, it would be less egregious than up until your dying day killing as many people as you possibly can. And sorry that I don't shed a single tear. Not only that, but I might crack a few whys at the fact that no longer is a genocidal maniac in power at any means necessary, I suppose. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, man, I've meditated on this a little bit over the past couple weeks. This was like shifting I think I shifted my views a little bit on this. I remember when they at least claimed that they fucking housed Osama bin Laden. Fucking SEAL Team 6 came in, put a bullet right in his fucking head. And people were so happy, like celebrating in the streets, climbing up the poles like they won the fucking Super Bowl. So that I remember being, pearl clutching, like, how dare you? Just like but my point is, like, I don't know if it's exactly healthy to celebrate death. And I was questioning them probably the official story anyway, just being like, this is stupid,
right?
But for your own heart's sake, I'm just not convinced that it's good for you to be like, yeah, I'm super glad you're dead, But when I woke up and Lindsey Graham was dead,
I didn't feel worse.
I was. I'll tell you what. I was like, oh wow, yeah, you don't feel worse. So either you're a bad person or maybe this is okay. But dude, yeah, I'm still not going to celebrate in the streets. Now, if there were 100,000 people in the streets celebrating Lindsey Graham's death, would I blame those people? Probably not either.
Sure.
But it wasn't even that. It was internet stuff, and it was jokes, and he absolutely deserves that. And if there is a hell, he has to be there because he's one of the worst people who ever lived. And of course, that motherfucking Cunningham, whatever his name, Will Chamberlain. Of course he wants Will Chamberlain. Thank you. Of course he wants 100 of those motherfuckers because he's a slave. He's the perfect puppet. He will do whatever you say because he's a slave, because they got a John Travolta-sized file on him at Mossad and CIA, and all the tapes are there, just like all the people that they control and to get the votes and do the wars and keep doing the shit. Just a terrible, terrible human being.
Yes.
So yeah, the world is probably objectively better without him. I would say, we'll get another one just like him. In fact, I'm sure you'll get to that. Same blood. So, she will vote as he does.
Yep.
And
We will get there shortly. But yeah, it also occurs to me that, all the pearl clutching that you should never celebrate the death of anybody, no matter what their leanings were politically. It's like, but can you think of anybody who's celebrated death more than Lindsey fucking Graham? We're running out of bombs and we're killing all the right people. Like, his words, like it was his job to sell killing people. He celebrated every time we got into a war. He celebrated every time he had a sale on a war and every time there was a bomb dropped. He was elated for people to be dying. It was his life's mission to kill more people. He only celebrated death. So I'm not going to feel too bad celebrating when his celebration comes to an end. Now, luckily for the neocons, there might still be hope, because on the same day, the exact same day as luck would have it, that Lindsey Graham died, Ben Shapiro announced, with immeasurable thanks to God, we are proud to announce the addition of baby number 5 to the Shapiro family this morning, which of course means Lindsey Graham has officially already been reincarnated into the demon spawn of Ben Shapiro, and he will carry the legacy forward that Lindsey Graham has laid out. And as soon as Lindsey's sister dies, Ben Shapiro's son, I assume, will be just put right back into power as Lindsey Graham's successor. Any thoughts on Ben Shapiro's demon spawn, Lindsey? Dave?
I don't know why, but I believe you. I feel like that makes good sense.
I mean, this is all allegedly, but I'm pretty sure my facts add up.
Right. I mean, they will live in alignment. Now we become one.
It wouldn't surprise me more than half the stuff that we talk about on this show lately. But Speaking of unbelievable bullshit, Lindsey Graham's sister, even Donald Trump came out to... So for those that don't know, before we get into that, Lindsey Graham's sister, who supposedly Lindsey Graham raised from a baby and they were just orphans together. And I mean, this sob story that we've never heard up until he died, they were so close that it's basically the same as her being a widow to lose her brother, is how MAGA would have you believe. And there's a tiny amount of precedent for a widow to take over as the successor to their dead husband. Lindsey Graham's sister-daughter wife is now being installed as his new replacement, which, sorry, MAGA, if you fact-check even a little bit, you will find the amount of cases that this has happened, the amount of precedent that has been set for this specific situation where a sibling takes over a role after a death has happened the entirety of 0 times in the entirety of our country. So stop pretending like I'm stupid and we're stupid for thinking this is abnormal, because it has literally never happened. Even if you can spin the 19th Amendment into something that makes sense, it's only another justification to abolish the 19th Amendment. But Donald Trump said, I recommend to Governor Henry McMaster, Lindsey Graham's wonderful sister Darlene, to serve as interim senator from the great state of South Carolina. This would be a fabulous tribute to Lindsey, who loved her dearly. President Donald J. Trump. So even Donald J. Trump came out and endorsed just, kingdom shit. Like, this is monarchy shit where we're just passing it along. I posted this: if Lindsey Graham's sister dies, the seat will be taken by her cousin, then by her dog, her gynecologist, and so forth in that manner. Sorry, I don't make the democracy rules, but trust me, they are clear. And a whole bunch of the comments were just shrieking about how stupid I am, how wrong I am. They kept posting this: widows who succeeded their husbands in Congress. And again, that just, are you saying that they were married as well as sister daughters? I don't know. What are your thoughts on all of this bullshit, Dave?
First of all, do you still have that I love democracy button or what?
Yes, somewhere. I mean, don't we all have?
Okay. I need to get my own. When can I get my buttons, bro? Because I would have dropped that by now.
I might. Oh, yep.
I love democracy.
Got it.
There it is.
It's been a while.
Dude.
I thought it was in a different bank, but we still got it.
Can you fucking believe it, dude? His fucking sister. Oh. And we're to believe, and MAGA is obviously to believe and enforce that he just had that brilliant idea, as if somebody didn't come to him like a group of operatives. We need to install his sister.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on in South Carolina? The FBI was at his house too. What do you think that they were doing?
The FBI was like sweeping it, weren't they? After he died in a different country. Yeah. Like you're not going to find any evidence of the illness there, except for maybe medications. But I don't think that warrants an FBI raid.
But you might, if you already knew a bunch of shit about him, and you knew that like the coroner was coming over, the local fucking whatever. Just, the news. You're probably going to clear that house out first.
Yeah.
Give it the old treatment, take the silverware out of there and shit.
Black out all the documents, anything that or destroy all the videotapes and the Epstein footage. Who knows what Ladybug, Lindsay, do you know the Ladybug story? Lindsey Graham's Ladybugs?
No.
Look it up.
I know they call him that.
Look it up. It has to do with his butt, we'll just say. Go look up Lindsey Graham or Lady Graham, probably would be fine. Lindsey Graham's Ladybugs. I'm sure you can find something. I won't pull it up on here because we have better things to do than look at Lindsey Graham's butt. I don't think there's pictures, to be clear, but there's definitely a story. Now, Lindsey Graham's sister, before this, Lindsey Graham's sister, everybody was raging on the internet at me and anybody who was like, this isn't how we do things around here. This is not how any of this works. There were a bunch of MAGA folk who were like, yes, it does. This is exactly how this works. Or the other argument was, it's only for a few weeks or a couple months or whatever it is, up until the end of him serving out what he would have served out in this previous election. It won't count toward the future stuff, so it's not that big a deal. There's only like 2 or 3 votes that she's going to get to vote on. First of all, there's nobody who voted for her, so she's basically the Kamala Harris of the South Carolina MAGA group at this point. But nobody voted for her. If she gets to have any vote on anything, that's a problem on its own. But not only that, but she has recently announced that she's not done after this. So all your arguments can go suck dicks.
Can do it.
Bro, I think you have a week.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And by that time, the funerals won't even have taken place.
I know.
I think she has a week to file.
And then the president's putting an ask on you, we'll put it that way. It's a lot of pressure.
It is a tremendous
lot of pressure. What are you going to do?
It's crazy. We haven't talked about this before this.
Tell me what's going through your head about it, and where do you stand now?
I'll continue to say I've been praying a lot, talking to my family, but with the love of my family, with the support of his staff. I know I'm a hard worker. I learned that from Lindsey. He cared about the people of this state. I've worked for almost 30 years for the people of this state.
I want to talk about that in a minute.
I feel like I can do it.
Silly woman.
I feel an inner peace about it. Will it be difficult? Yes, absolutely.
So you're inclined to get in, or have you even made a final decision?
I've made a decision.
You're in.
I'm in.
This is theater.
The whole thing is so fake. That's what I was saying. Like, clearly they've had a discussion before this, and he knew, because he's like acting like he's trying to almost talk her out of it, and she's like, no, I'm so confident. You can tell in the stability in my voice that I'm really excited to take over the hand up my ass puppet that Lindsey was and fulfill his ass puppet duties. It is all theater. Go ahead with what you were going to say, Dave.
No, it's just, Sean Hannity is a known, they were like BFFs, him and Lindsey Graham, because they both are probably CIA guys. Hannity used to wear the lapel pin, and obviously they know what's up, what Lindsey Graham is really up to. He's controlled, right? So, yeah, dude, this is just absolute. Oh, yeah, he's like trying to play like the concerned guy. Like, bro, you're a newsman. If imagine for a second that this wasn't complete bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be talking about the things like, this has never happened in American history.
Right.
Why should the vote? You were never voted in. How is this democratic at all?
Yes, all the questions that we have, all the questions that all of you have had out there, all the obvious glaring questions of, wait, what? I mean, that would be obviously question number one, is just, wait, what? And never a single wait, what from Sean Hannity. Just, obviously, this makes perfect sense. And, oh, you're planning on continuing? You nobody from nowhere who nobody knew the name before Lindsey Graham died and is obviously just like a last-ditch shuffle for the AIPAC donors to install another anti-Massey type from which would be Mark Lynch. If you live in the South Carolina area, definitely go vote for Mark Lynch. Even he's probably a bit more conservative than you or us, but he's definitely going to be, he's a cool dude. I've worked with him, made a video for him, and I recommend he's definitely going to be better than any Graham of any kind or any flavor. Let alone the soft reboot of Lindsey Graham with the gender reswap.
So wait, real quick. You worked with a guy who's running for state senator in Lindsey Graham's state.
I made a video for him.
And that's coming up. This is all just so fucking transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Like dude, there's only 100 senators. Like that. These are some of those powerful people to ever walk the face of the earth. You have to have a puppet like Lindsey Graham or his sister. So they were like, fuck, we need to do something right now so that we can get our next puppet, or else we're going to get one of these people.
They're like, you have to stay in there now. I would imagine she probably accepted and then got in there thinking like, it's only going to be like a month or two. And then they're like, no, actually, we've got a whole fucking special election that we got to do now that you're going to have to jump into because we've got nobody else here that can stack up against anybody. Because I mean, it's not like, no offense to Mark Lynch, he doesn't have the name recognition. It's not like a Thomas Massey going up against a Ed Galrine situation. It's an underdog going up against Lindsey Graham, incumbent, and now Lindsey Graham's sister. And I don't remember where I was going with this. Just they don't even have anybody good enough to go up against guys that you've never heard of at this point that will push their message. So they're like, the only thing we can do is keep it in the family, keep the bloodlines pure, and get another sock puppet in there. It's so on display. It's like that. Like I said with the Massey election, like. The silver lining to all of this is they can't hide this shit anymore, and it gets more and more obvious. Now they're to the point where they're like, no, trust us, this always happens. And then you look into it, and it's literally never happened before. And they're like, it's normal, trust us. And that's what they're going to tell the boomers, that this is normal, and she's carrying the torch of all the greatness that Lindsey Graham brought to South Carolina. And, they'll just vote because Donald Trump said vote. Speaking of stupid people, you remember Jordan Peterson, Dr. Jordan Peterson? Yeah, he blocked me this last week because of my response to this post of his. He came back from the grave to let us know, with regard to Judeo-Christian, the 10th commandments are Jewish. The great stories of the Old Testament are Jewish. The Jews developed the idea of subsidiarity as the alternative to tyranny and slavery. The Jews established the culture conditions for the rise of universal literacy. The fate of Israel at the hands of the Islamists is the fate of the West. This rising tide of anti-Semitism sickens me. Those of you engaging in it for your oh-so-moral reasons, you're despicable. And remember, you proud Christians, quote-unquote, objecting to, in all your purity, to the term Christ himself was a Jew. All right, now, that's Dr. Jordan Peterson, allegedly. That's Dr. Jordan Peterson coming back from what seems to be a fairly lengthy and quiet hiatus to let us all know the atheist Jordan Peterson, who respects the Bible but does not fully believe in it, who respects Jesus but does not really believe in him, as far as I can tell, definitely not a Christian, came back from the grave to let us everybody know that if you are a Christian, says the atheist, if you are a Christian, you better serve the Jews. So, and I mean, I just found it laughably stupid, and I posted. Let me see if I can find the tweet that got me banned. Or got me blocked by Jordan Peterson. I said, when you're dead, but your contract with Ben Shapiro still hasn't run out. Like, Jordan Peterson never talked about this stuff before working for Ben Shapiro, and I imagine he'll continue talking about this stuff long after he has Mitch McConnell into not working for Ben Shapiro. But I don't know. We both have a fond history with Jordan Peterson up until, around the time he joined Ben Shapiro's team and started calling us all psychopaths if we dare question the mainstream narratives on literally anything. And then obviously it was downhill from there. But what are your thoughts on this? Is this even Jordan Peterson that blocked me, or is this the Daily Wire running his account?
That's probably more likely, or his daughter, or some variation of. But you're totally right that his quality has gone way down in his health and also his content since signing with the Daily Wire. What a terrible move. Though, if you think about it, the atheist guy who promotes Christian stuff, pseudo, whatever, like, would you agree? I think that most Jews are atheists.
Sure.
That's just, I think most probably people who live in Israel are atheists. But that's the thing with I don't know how they blend all the shit together, the culture and the heritage and the religion. And so, I don't know how it all works. It's just kind of a thing. Hard to get in. Yeah. But so it's no coincidence, right? So like he can apply a very like literal, sense to the Old Testament, and that can click in his mind until it starts to deteriorate further, and then people like you are going to get blocked, bro. Which, by the way, I mean, that's sad and it's tragic and all that stuff.
At this
very
point,
cool.
Yeah, at
very
this
cool.
point, I'm calling it a win. Like,
yeah,
a guy that like I used to listen to on the regular. I wasn't like his most ardent book reading fan or anything, but I keep my room clean from time to time, and I was certainly not at all a hater and respected his views up until about 3 months after he joined the Daily Wire. And here's a little word from Ben Shapiro talking about Lindsey Graham's death. More notably, talking about Lindsey Graham's death in order to lead into an ad, as Ben Shapiro does.
Well, all the worst people are very, very excited about Lindsey Graham's death. All the worst people. But listen, whenever you talk about mortality or the passage of time, it's a big reminder that you don't have time to waste. I mean, it's just a reality. We just had a baby. That means we are super duper injured. There's no time to waste. And that's also true when it comes to your business. We all have our own time-saving hacks for everyday life. If you're a business owner, how can you save time hiring? ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter has a new feature that quickly lets you...
Incredible.
Wow.
Incredible. Have you ever heard a deeper stereotype than Ben Shapiro? Not only is he using Lindsey Graham's death to set up for this ad, but he's using it while saying it's just despicable how these people just use Lindsey Graham's death for stuff. Like, I'm about to use it for Boll & Branch sheets. Like, his segues are incredible. But, yeah, man.
Wow.
It's really something. Bro. You got any thoughts on that, Dave?
Yeah, I think you should remix that. Like, just like use different commercials to like, people, all the worst people are talking about Lindsey Graham's death, but brought to you by ShamWow. Fucking, like,
pow, right in the face, just like Lindsey Graham's life. Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing. Not shocked at all because he's such a piece of shit, but that's fantastic. Thank you for that.
Well, I will say that Lindsey Graham's death is a reminder to us all that life is indeed short, but that doesn't stop there. But that doesn't stop there from being bumps and bruises along the way. If you or a loved one have been injured on the job, or even if that job is Bibi's butt boy, like Ladybug, Ladyboy, Lindsey Graham, perhaps you need to call Max the Axe at Lone Star Injury Attorneys. We'll be right back.
The great William Shakespeare once said, "First thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers." That's right. It is common knowledge that literally no one in the known universe actually likes lawyers. That is, until they're saving your ass. Max the Axe at Lone Star Injury Attorneys is a professional ass saver. A rare breed, though he be a lawyer, he is indeed a principled libertarian, a defender of the injured and downtrodden, a supportive, faithful Downers Club member, my personal favorite. and a shockingly kind and hospitable fellow at an award-winning personal injury law firm. So if you've been injured on the job in an automobile accident or some other form of cattywampus beyond your personal control, visit LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com or just Google Max the Axe for maximum results. Consultations are free and you don't pay a single dime unless you win. Go with the pros at LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com and get your ass covered.
You demanded it. You got it. Massey Revolution shirts and merch are now available at MasseyAF.com. Wear the warning shot of the revolution to come and remind the Epstein class that this fight has just begun.
We're just getting started. I like that.
Shirts, hoodies, yard signs, posters, magnets, mugs, and more. Grab your own revolution gear now at MasseyAF.com because this isn't an election. This is a movement, and we're just getting started.
And we are back with some more heresy from the White House. They posted, "He is him." That is all in this cryptic post. Just a picture of Donald Trump getting off of a helicopter, and it says, "He is him," with him capitalized, indicating that he is. Even his pronouns are worth capitalizing, which typically Americans only do for one reason and one reason alone, and that's that it's at the beginning of a sentence, or it is Jesus, or the Antichrist. Who knows? God, Jesus, the Antichrist. I mean, a deity of some sort is typically the only time you would capitalize that at the end of a sentence. And people have speculated that Trump could be the Antichrist. Not only did he die and come back, he got shot in the head and came back just fine. And he died in the public eye for 4 years and then came back and was just fine. He rose from the dead. We don't need to get too deeply into whether or not Trump is the Antichrist, but I have seen a weird trend with the White House having these just overtly inexplicably, intentionally, obviously, I think almost desperately cryptic messages. Like there were some that there have been quite a few that are like pointing toward QAnon stuff and like trying to bring people back to that, like, oh, there's trust the plan Q, and then you scroll down and the Q means something else or something. Like they're just trolling us. It makes sense if you were marketing a dying regime to go with the kids route and just troll people a little bit and have some fun and put things out there to rage bait and get us to talk about whether or not Donald Trump is the Antichrist. By the way, if you want me to talk more in depth about whether or not Donald Trump is the Antichrist, you can go to patreon.com/thesystemsdown, or you can just email me at dansmotz@gmail.com. It'll take you way less seriously there. But Dave, do you think that there's weird things going on in the White House? Do you think Donald Trump is, in fact, the Antichrist or QAnon, or is this all just what I suspect, the complete bluster of a dying, flailing, and desperate regime who hired some kids to do their social media to win back the hearts and minds of us crazy conspiracy theorists?
Yeah, I'm not convinced that the Antichrist is ever inhabited by one individual, but I am convinced there's an Antichrist.
Mm-hmm.
So could that be at play here? I mean, if anything, for sure. We just based on what we know. But I don't know if we're going to talk about it being one person. Like, I think that Benjamin Netanyahu fits the role way better.
Yeah, sure.
But do they serve the same master? Are they like doing the same things? You know, are we going to get Trump Plaza Gaza? Probably.
Right.
That's unholy. That's anti-Christian.
Yeah.
I mean, literally murdering Christians. So
I mean, Trump Plaza Gaza, and as Trump said, he's going to unleash the gates of hell on, I assume, Iran. The gates of hell are about to be unleashed, he said, which, as I pointed out here in this post, that's not even how gates work. We're going to unleash these gates onto Iran or something. And before you respond, let's go ahead and get this in there. Donald Trump said, I think this is today? Yes, today. From this point forward, any time the Islamic Republic of Iran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, whether it be by missile, rocket, drone, or any other device or weapon, the United States will bomb and destroy one bridge or power plant, including those located next to or in the capital city of Tehran. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So that thing that he threatened 6 months ago to do to all the bridges and all the whatever power plants and everything, and annihilate a civilization, as he put it, something to that effect. Now we're down to just like every single day there's a new threat from Donald J. Trump. It feels like I haven't kept up with this war very much. All I see is every day Donald J. Trump says, "Hey guys, we're gonna kill you all. Trust me this time, I mean it." Not only does it look pathetic in the interaction with Iran and the fact that we're still in this war with clearly we're up shit creek without a paddle, but there's also the fact that much bigger countries than Iran, like the people that we're supposed to believe are our greatest enemies of all, China and Russia and so on and so forth, like countries that have an actual military, what are they looking at this and seeing? Strength, prestige, like the military that did what? Kept saying, I mean it this time. I'm going to write another strongly worded Truth Social post. If you guys don't cut it out, if you don't open that straight, I'm going to re-bomb your bridges. I'll bomb the rubble of your bridges. Like, it's just so childish and pathetic. And I think it makes where, like, one of the big selling points for Donald Trump was, at least for like from a Republican's perspective, was like he's going to make the military great again, whatever. Fine, like build up the military, but he was going to keep us out of wars. He's gotten us into wars and depleted our military and then made himself look like a complete dumbass by saying over and over again that he's going to do the same thing that he said he was going to do for the last however long, year, 6 months at least. And also claiming victory and not victory, and you guys better cut that out. I don't know. Again, I'm not keeping a close eye on this war because when we stopped doing the show, I told you what it was going to be, and so far it's been that. It's just rerun after rerun after rerun, and there's a lot of daily podcasts that feel the need to say, hey, Donald Trump said this today. Oh, that's great, or that's terrible. And it's just obvious that it doesn't mean anything at all. And I think not only us, but like if we can see it, what do you think the world leaders around the world are seeing from the greatest country in the world, the most powerful country, having this toddler tyrant doing his toddler tyrant deeds? What do you think, Dave?
That was a lot, bro. But I think that, I mean, kind of at the end, you kind of hit on like the from 30,000 foot view of what the Trump deception is. And in this social media era, this climate, right, where he can literally say two different things to two different groups and get like, there is no one message getting out. His people are going to believe his shit, right? The diehards. Mm-hmm. And his haters will always hate him, right? For seemingly not the right things, though. The left seems to be right on the war issue right now. Mm-hmm. But it is extremely confusing, right? And he is really good at manipulating and just creating constant things chaos to keep your eye on. Right. Yeah. He's that, like him and the administration, like the whole apparatus is really good at that. So
I feel like that's what the edgy tweets are too, just like keeping you talking about that instead of the actual issue that he's fucking up the world right now.
Oh, I know that is, because some of it works on me. Like I'll see someone, I'll be like, damn, like how can I hate you? Because like that was fucking hilarious or whatever. But like, no, It's terrible because like he's doing the worst things ever. He's, KRS-One says like the president is just the manager of the Burger King, right? And this goes, that's it. They're just the manager. So he's a really good manager because he, so far, like there's no, I mean, back in the day, bro, there would be protests in the street over a new war. Not anymore.
Yep.
Not anymore. And to tie it back real quick to the language of like, hey, I'm going to unleash hell. And then like that, he'll say some shit like that, but then like tweet himself looking like Jesus or capital H or whatever. Yep. Like, dude, this is all meant to be very confusing on purpose, right? I think. And we need to be aware of that. And like the energy, I think, is very bad. And that's what I wanted to say real quick. Back when I might have identified a little bit more in the left wing, right before I found Ron Paul, I read a book by Chris Hedges, who's, I think he went to the Rage Against the War Machine rally and spoke there. He's good on the war, but he's a socialist and
sure,
terrible on all that stuff. But he wrote a book called American Fascists in 2007, and it just talks about how when fascism comes to America, it will be draped in a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
That whole ethos. They will use that. They will exploit that to and marry it to the government. And it looks
like, what I said when we were coming out of the Biden regime, and I saw the uprise and people who would be deemed anti-Semitic or even the boomer Christians. My concern was we've had the Democrats reign socially, even outside of politically, in all of the bullshit, the culture war bullshit that's gone on over the years, the last decade. And my big concern was we're going to overcorrect. We're going to go too far to where everything is just the boomer mentality again. And that's exactly where we are. We're right back to the wars, and Christians have to praise the war because he's doing God's work. And, it's still got the woke elements of anti-Semitism or racism or whatever. And you're just shouted down or censored if you say the wrong thing. It's just so predictable at this point. And I mean, I didn't predict it with Donald Trump because they sold that well. Whoever was in charge of that campaign, they sold it well. But here we are. And Donald Trump isn't the only issue. I mean, J.D. Vance went on Joe Rogan within the last 2 weeks, and I haven't watched the whole thing, but I've seen some clips, and I have two people that we both respect who had some better rants about it than I'm going to have. So I want to watch just a bit of Ian Carroll's take where J.D. Vance talked about Epstein. Of course he was asked about Epstein, and things that Ian Carroll said on Joe Rogan's show when he was on there 2 years ago. Now J.D. Vance is kind of hinting at the exact same things, but at the time that Ian Carroll said it, he was a crazy conspiracy theorist. Let's find out.
Vice President J.D. Vance just went on the Joe Rogan podcast and made some very choice admissions about Epstein and Israel. And it was just over a year ago that I went on Rogan, and the world had a complete meltdown because it was the first time that someone had spoken candidly on such a big platform about Epstein and his ties to Israeli intelligence. But the vice president just came out a little over a year later and basically confirmed a whole bunch of what I said. Jeffrey Epstein was just an employee of these organized crime rings that work on behalf of the CIA and Israeli Mossad and British intelligence.
Well, most people think he was Mossad.
Yeah, Mossad or CIA or some other deep state, whether in America or Israel or another country, or both.
So that when Jeffrey Epstein goes down, no one knows who he worked for.
Right.
He worked for intelligence, and I was told to leave him alone.
Right. Well, that was one of the things about the prosecutor was told that he was above their pay grade. I mean, it was one of the things that he said.
He was CIA or something.
Yeah.
Right?
He said I was told he was intelligence.
That's right.
When you really dig into Epstein, his entire network was Israel. It was clearly. Ehud Barak was the ex-prime minister and the ex-head of Israeli intelligence. Leslie Wexner was one of the most powerful pro-Israeli philanthropists. The whole organization was Israel. And I'm not saying it was all of Israel.
It was all an intelligence gathering and
it was targeting Americans. It was targeting American officials and the American president.
Epstein was using sort of the sex ring to blackmail rich and powerful people. Epstein seemed to be connected to the elements of the Israeli deep state that were left of center.
Leslie Wexner owns Victoria's Secret and L Brands, right? He's the bank that bankrolled Jeffrey Epstein. And I was saying earlier that he signed the power of attorney over to Jeffrey Epstein. And the reason why you do that is so that you can claim that you don't know about his operation. He was just my money manager. I didn't know he was running this thing because I wasn't involved in any of those transactions.
If you go back to the original Epstein guy was Les Wexner, okay? Epstein was his tax guy. That Epstein was like the genius at identifying weird tax strategies. It would allow Epstein to either blackmail people or to have a separate nexus of influence and control on rich and powerful people.
So the files getting released, I am not expecting them to come out in any complete form.
That there just wasn't dispositive evidence. And if that dispositive evidence ever existed, it was probably destroyed after 2006, 2007.
Trump wants us to stop talking about it.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
But it's not going away. No, this story is just getting started.
All right, we got it. Yeah. Yeah, just fascinating. The amount that J.D. Vance is able to say. And there, to be fair, as soon as this episode came out, the Ben Shapiro's of the world and the project, I think we should call it like Baby Mockingtard or something. But the Twitter people who come out and dogpile on anybody who's disagreeing with the official narrative that Trump's administration, probably from Israel or whoever, is putting out there. They dogpiled on J.D. Vance for even being this honest, this very minimal amount of honesty, when I feel like J.D. Vance is at a weird crossroads where he's trying to figure out how to play the game to the point that he can maintain his relationship with the MAGA crowd and Donald J. Trump to have that support if he decides to run for president, and also get the fuck as far away from that narrative and that obvious dog shit as he possibly can, where they just keep digging themselves deeper and deeper and deeper into a hole. So he's trying to like play the normal guy who's like, yeah, man, it's crazy what came out with that Epstein stuff, but he still never really gives anything too in-depth. But he does confirm from his own mouth things that Ian Carroll got shit for saying a little over a year ago. So yeah, it's absurd. I think that, Dave, if you have some quick thoughts on that, go ahead. But I've got another clip from Tim Dillon that I want to play here on the J.D. Vance interview as well.
No, go for it.
Cool. All right, this is Tim Dillon on the same episode.
This is the thing when, like, J.D. Vance goes on Rogan and goes, well, you know, they have this whole discussion about the Epstein docs, and J.D. is like, I'll go to my death believing it was a larger conspiracy. You know, it's kind of like these guys are like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's like, no, you're the vice president. What are you talking about? J.D. Vance is talking about this like he's a guy at a bar in the town I grew up in on Long Island, where he'd be like, I'll always believe it was a conspiracy. You sure? That guy owns a pool company. He's gonna be like, yeah. What are you going to do? I'll always believe someone on there. This guy's the vice president of the United States of America, going on the biggest podcast in the world, going, yep, I read all the files. Trump's innocent. Also, I'll always believe there was a greater conspiracy there. I'll always think something was going on. But what am I going to do? I'm the vice president. That's J.D. Vance's character arc right now, is his whole entire thing is just telling people what the vice president can't do. Like, what about the war in Iran? He goes, you know, there's not much I can do. I just kind of hang out and...
So no different than Kamala Harris.
I'm part of the administration that betrays its voters and does the opposite of everything it said it was going to do. I just kind of hang out and, you know, this Epstein thing, who knows? You know, what are you going to do? It's a lot of what are you going to do energy from the vice president. I'm not saying the vice president's like an all-powerful figure, but it's just hilarious that, like, that's his argument. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah, these Epstein docs, you know. Isn't that nuts, Joe? You heard about that? What? You're the vice president of the United States.
Awesome.
They keep trying to play this game where they're like this folksy, kind of like relatable, like, yeah, these fucking elites. These fucking elites with they're fucking the kids. They're stealing your money. What? Who? You are doing it. You're the ones who are doing it. And they're relying on the fact that some of their most ardent supporters, the ones who aren't directly being paid off, are the stupidest people in the world. So that still works on them. They're like, yeah, fucking Hillary. Hillary Clinton. Fucking Hillary Clinton. The guy, they're in the White House. They have the Congress. They have the Senate. They have the Supreme Court. It is them. It is now them. I don't want to hear about the deep state anymore. You're playing me for a fool. You're playing everyone for a fool. You brought in Kash Patel. You brought in that other guy, Dan Bongino. You threw him out or he left, whatever. You brought in Pam Bondi and then threw her out. I'm sick of hearing about this deep state. All of these people, you have to be one of the stupidest people in the world to fall for this shit at this point. You are peddling the dumbest, most, by the way, I hate to use this word, but cringe. It's literally cringe. You watch this and you go, I feel so disgusted by the fact that they think people are still going to believe this shit.
All right. Yeah, that does deserve. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, I could have ranted about it myself, but it would have never done it even remotely justice to what Tim Dillon can do. Yeah, J.D. Vance is playing the same card that George W. Bush played. Just, he's a guy that you can have a beer with. He's an Appalachian man who, that's how we all supported him going in. He's the man's man from Appalachia. He wrote the book on being a hillbilly or whatever the fuck. And coming out of that, and for him to go on Joe Rogan now, when we all know that within the next year, he's going to announce that he's running for president to take Donald J. Trump's spot. And he's all of a sudden, he's not disagreeing with Donald Trump. You'll notice he is disagreeing with the fact that, if you recall, Donald J. Trump said, it's a Democrat hoax, there's nothing there. And Pam Bondi said it, and Dan Bongino said it, Kash Patel said it, it's a Democrat hoax. But now we've got J.D. Vance, who's trying to, I feel needle that thread where he's everything. Donald Trump's doing his absolute best, but I'm with you guys, and I just can't believe that, the elites are getting away with this. As Tim Dillon said, you are the vice president with the House and the Senate under Republican control currently that is clearly about to probably shift. And you don't have the answers. It's mid-2026. You guys got in there in 2024 or whatever, early 25. And this was your whole thing. And you're still oh man, yeah, it is pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy. And I don't know if Joe pushed him any further on that, but I feel if he didn't, he absolutely should have. But yeah, any thoughts on the J.D. Vance stuff? Or the Tim Dillon version, or the Ian Carroll version, Dave?
The Tim Dillon version is my preferred version because it just speaks.
It's kind of all encompassing.
I
did not mean to play music.
Sorry. No, I thought that was great. And so true, dude. It's just so pathetic at this point. And yeah, anybody who's not kind of yelling about it isn't doing it enough justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I love it. I put his podcast in my top 5 probably at this point.
Sure. Absolutely.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
But the Rogan stuff, man, I did listen to most of that. And yeah, J.D. Vance, he's talking about, I think Rogan did a pretty fair job. Pretty more than fair. He did a good job kind of pressing him on some stuff. But he asked him, they were talking about how all kinds of countries will be spying on America, but you wouldn't say that about whatever, France or he goes, or all kinds of, he goes, I think influence happens, through trying to influence, the way we think through propaganda campaigns. And then Rogan goes, yeah, but do you think Israel does that? He goes,
I did see that clip too. Yeah.
No
more than anybody else. Everybody spies on us. Well, they're not all our allies either. They're not all getting money backed up in dump trucks to their front door to fight their wars. Yeah,
he's really good at dodging shit and kind of like you say, playing the everyman. But he couldn't just go. He couldn't just say, of course they do. Of
He's
course,
even
they're
better
the
than
number
Donald
one
Trump
offender.
at dodging bullets, some might say.
Yeah. Shing. You got to be able to pume.
Because his fake ear is just fine. Now, let's move on to the flock cameras and stuff, because there's this whole flock camera thing going around. I don't know about it. I mean, I'm not opposed at all to people destroying mass surveillance equipment, but I did want to read this. I've got a few things. We'll just scroll through them real quick. The Flock CEO calls DFlock a project where users map out Flock cameras, a terrorist organization. Quote, unfortunately, there's terrorist organizations like DFlock whose primary motivation is chaos. They're closer to Antifa than they are to anything else. I don't know what the anything else was, like maybe patriots who are opposed to mass surveillance or an Orwellian state, but definitely closer to Antifa than anything else, whatever that means. I mean, we've hung for less. But this guy, we don't need to watch this. This guy's theory is that, or maybe not his theory, but he's raising the question, is it possible for this whole flock camera destroying situation to be a psyop? And he proposes that Axon is, they're trying to install a new company to take over for the flock cameras that is more closely tied to, I guess, military industrial complex type stuff or government stuff. And there's a whole demonstration from a guy presenting the possibility of Axon taking over the flock camera stuff. So the theory is that it's like a psyop, that people are tearing down these cameras, even though there's a bunch of people saying that it doesn't matter and that it's not changing anything because they're putting up 1,000 a day. But the reason why everybody's tearing these down is so that people will be opposed to those people tearing these down, so that Axon can come in with their better version and install it into every light post, which there is a demonstration of how they would easily install it into every light post. But I don't know. I really don't know, and I have multiple thoughts on this. Like my first response to this guy's video claiming that it's just so that a different company could take over. It's like, well, Donald Trump seemed very into like Palantir and this flock camera thing. This flock camera thing just started happening. Why would they immediately start a psyop to get the flock cameras taken down to install the better flock cameras on the light posts instead of on the poles? I don't know, but also there is a video of Axon giving a presentation showing how easy it is to screw into every light post. So maybe the fact that it's not on its own separate pole that can be easily cut down is the reason for changing. But then why wouldn't they have just started with that? I don't know. What are your thoughts, Dave?
The government will use whichever flock camera they want and back whichever one they want, it's most efficient.
Yeah.
And if they get in bed with one that turns out that, a private sector one gets, the upper hand somehow, they will take their IP and they will use it. Look at Amazon. This happens right now, like just at the, the consumer level.
Yeah.
But dude, yeah, this is crazy. Obviously, this is just like, we knew that this has been coming for, since you started watching Alex Jones, right? But they're like actually able to implement this stuff now, and it's going so fast because of AI. And like all this, I hate to be blackpilled on this, but like they're going from the like design they got to maybe like on every lamp, but like before 2030, they'll be in drones. Like you won't be able to get them.
They'll be in TVs and cars and shit by that point.
Yeah, they'll be well out of your reach. And this is
guaranteed they're already in your phone.
Yeah, not that I'm against taking any of these things apart, if you have the opportunity to or whatever, but that's not going to do it. And I don't even know if it's that good of PR for like your neighbors and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if that's like, I'm not against it, but I'm not for it either. So
you're saying you align more with clear-fed boy Nick Fuentes on this one. Let's hear what he had to say.
Keep up the good work, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Sneeko more like Frico sent $20. Sorry if you've answered this, but what do you think about people destroying flock cameras? IMO too risky, too reckless.
It's dumb. It's dumb, and it's not going to stop it. That's not the way. They're putting them up. They put up like 1,000 of them every day. So I think that's just a LARP. Oh, well, definitely don't shoot him with the BB gun. It's like, grow up. Will you fucking grow up already? Stop the LARP.
Gasolina 420 cent $100.
All right. I think that's it. Yeah.
I do agree with Fed Boy Nick Fuentes.
I don't know. I feel like every time Nick Fuentes says anything that's clippable these days, it's exactly what a Fed would say.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying,
Stop tearing these down. You're not changing anything. You should sit in your basement and talk into a microphone like me. Stop LARPing. Stop cutting down things. That's LARPing. Like, it's just funny for somebody who mostly sits in his basement or sits in. I'm not talking down to that. I'm doing the same thing. Sits in his room and talks into a microphone. But if we're talking about LARPing, like, no, I'm not cutting him down either. But to say that it's LARPing to be doing a physical activity that could get you arrested, it seems Fed-like to me.
Yeah, but I'll look. I went through a phase when I was, like a kid, and maybe into like young adulthood, where like we broke some shit and did some like destructive shit.
Give me some.
But if you have anything to fucking lose in this life, don't go do that. That is my advice to you, because it is the juice ain't worth the squeeze, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that is true, if there's I don't know, check the stats. Are there 1,000 going up a day? Like, if you're really bored and you're 17 and you really feel like taking your BB gun out, it's like, okay, dude. Like, I used to we did some crazy shit too. But like, no, if you're an adult, you have shit to do. Don't do that.
Now, Dave, does it change anything that I mean, there have been executives of some sort, look into it, I don't know. But I read a quote of somebody who was like, "You are not going to be able to go out for a breath without us knowing where you are, to make sure you're safe." Of course, they tack on at the end, but they definitely do want every light post in the country to have a camera on it that isn't just a camera. It tracks your movements, it tracks your behavior, it tracks, who you're talking to, where you're going. And in a dystopian future, I mean, a social credit score would be very easy to implement, or any of the Orwellian bullshit, if they can track where you're going and your credit score is lower, or you've been seen with a dangerous person, quote unquote, and then you go to visit your parents. How long is it before your parents are like, hey, maybe you shouldn't come over today, because they'll know that you're coming over and you've got that -3 on your whatever score bullshit. Like, I'm just saying, they're currently also, as Massey was pushing against, and I don't remember where this ended up going, but they were voting in Congress to implement kill switches for your cars and things that track your face in your car to make sure that you're looking at the road at all times, which also means that you might not be turning back to stop your child from choking or something. Lots of overreach, lots of Orwellian dystopian shit that is being snuck in here and there all over the place. I have no problem with anybody stopping even one little starfish of that dystopian future. Like, you can't save them all. You can't stop all the flock cameras from going up, but I can stop that one and inconvenience them at least a hefty $1,000 or so.
Bro, this is what they're doing, though. I'm pretty sure, like, anybody who's going to listen to this show probably knows this, but they are building the digital panopticon. So with all these street lamps and everything else, and the AI god that they are summoning is going to be the thing that it'll be the new panopticon, right? Instead of you in your mind thinking God is watching what I'm doing, you're going to have this external thing that that actually is going to be watching you at all times. Do you understand that?
God. Yes.
Do you understand that your fucking iWatch, when your heartbeat changes, when you walk past a fucking painting of Donald Trump, if that changes to fucking your blood pressure goes up, Rosie O'Donnell, that they'll just fucking kick your door in? Like this, it really is. We're getting to that point. They're building the thing. You won't necessarily be watched all the time, but you will think that you are being watched all the time. You will put yourself in that prison. That's the plan. Jeremy Bentham wrote about this shit. Rechtenwald hit me to a lot of this stuff. but they are building the digital panopticon. They are going to see everybody at all times in your house and out at some point, by some point. So get ready for it.
COVID was obviously bullshit. It was fabricated or man-made in a lab and used to enslave us and keep us in our homes and all that. They did all that without this technology, without having a face scan on your street corner outside your door whenever you walk out the door. They did that without that. So how hard would it be, and how much could they do to, COVID times 1,000 if they know when you leave your home? They know if you literally not even just go to your supermarket monitoring, but if you walk out your back door for a breath of fresh air and they deem that a danger to society, they can push it to arresting you for stepping out into your back lawn at that point.
And are the people not perfectly primed for this?
Yes.
They can't wait to narc on their neighbors and earn social credit points.
Yep.
For fucking
they won't even
calling
need
the
to at this
contact
point.
tracer.
Yeah. If this all gets implemented, we don't even need narcs anymore. We've just got a narc on literally every corner. We got a robot narc. That's all. And it's not like they're going to be monitoring our every literal movement so that they can praise us for the good deeds that we did. I'm sorry, neocons, but that's not how government tends to operate. They don't work in the reward system all that much. The only time you are benefited is when they do something that benefits them tremendously and you get a tiny bit of trickle down, or they're trying to win an election for a minute. But you won't be able to take a shit without them finding you. And Dave, speaking of shit, where can people find you? We're done. We're done here.
You can find me. You can find me at dissidentmedia.com and Dave versus Goliath 1 on Twitter.
And you can find me at the website's still currently down, but Dan Smotz at gmail.com or patreon.com/the system is down, or of course dissidentmedia.com at dissidentmedia, all that stuff, at TSIDpod on Twitter. And yeah, let me know if you guys want more. If not, we'll keep doing what we feel like doing, and it'll be what we feel like it being, which might be a half hour of movie reviews before we talk about the Orwellian state of the world and how Donald Trump's an idiot. But thank you all for being here either way and supporting and hanging out. We're going to do a bit more over in the after party, and we're going to talk about Candace Owens assassinating Erica Kirk's theories or views. Dang it, I had a thing to pull up here. It's missing. Wait. We're going to talk about Candace assassinates Erica Kirk's arguments. Now, if you want to hear that, come on over to the after party, and we will give you a bit more. Patreon.com/the system's down. Thanks for hanging out. Question everything. Staying comfortable. Be bad. Have fun. And we'll see you whenever next time is. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Smash all the like and subscribe buttons because that's what we say at the end of videos. Good night, everybody.
This concludes our broadcast day.